One thing that I can tell you is the brain is a fascinating thing to me that creates so many thoughts. And obviously, we always talk about how thoughts create feelings and feelings create actions, actions create results. But the interesting thing is that many of us have so many different thoughts and so many big, ambitious thoughts that we end up ruining our own manifestation process. In today's episode, I'm going to share with you exactly how you can get it done one day at a time. And that is a promise. This is the ME Show.
I've been caught up since the day that we met, and you haven't seen the best of me yet. There's nothing like you and me together, and your eyes have been so hard to forget. But there's something you're trying to hide. There's something you're keeping inside. I'm trying to get to know you much better. It don't matter how much time it I just can't give up. Whoa, I just can't give up. Can't give up. I just can't give up. I just can't give up.
Good morning, beautiful souls from all around the world, or afternoon or evening, wherever you may be. Ali Madawi here, your strategic partner, and we help struggling entrepreneurs to leverage social media and the digital space to create brand equity and revenue. And if you are an entrepreneur or if you are a human being, let me know, because today's episode is definitely one of a kind that is going to help you identify why am I attracting the worst things in life. It's not so much that you're attracting the worst things in life, it's just you don't know how to create a focused system that you are identifying the great things in life first, and therefore you can create so much more of it. Now, if you have not heard, we have an amazing event lined up for you. It is a complimentary public event. It is the first and only event that is going to be public tomorrow night for the rest of the year. Everything else I do is private, but tomorrow it will be open for everyone. And it is the paradigm change with Ali Madawi. And I can promise you, everything that I have learned over the last 13, 14 years, just about, I'm ready to teach now. I'm ready to educate on, because I never understood how is someone like me that came from a third world country that said me no English, that was gone through every sense of trauma, that came from the streets, that came from just working, as a busboy and a dishwasher, to have the ability to build multi-billion dollars of sales over the last 14 years, to create a lifestyle that I just keep on creating even more of, to go from a house that was with a share of sales on the door about 5 or 6 years ago, to potentially purchasing $1 million home as we speak. So there's all these great things that are happening, and I never understood what was I doing that is creating the good that is happening in my life, and of course attracting those undesirable things that I didn't want to have to happen in my life. And I finally get it. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be about a 60-minute training and a 30-minute open interactive session, so I can help you understand why you're not creating the life that you desire and deserve. So definitely let me know if you want the link. I can shoot it over to you. But let's get into today's topic. So when it comes to manifesting things, it's not that you are not focused enough or you don't have the right thoughts, is that you have so many thoughts that are happening at the same exact time all over the place. Like, you go from one sense of, man, I want to make $1 million, to, man, I would like to have $1 million home. Then I want to make $10,000 a day. I want to be positive today. I want to be healthy. And there's so many distractions that are happening throughout our all day. If I were to ask you this question, what do you really, really want? What would your answer be? What do you really, really want? What would your answer be? See, just such a vague, big, huge question that your brain is going to just fire away everywhere. Some people are going to say more health, more prosperity, more wealth, more this, more that. Different people have different things that they really, really want, right? But what if I ask you this different question? What do you really want between now and the top of the hour? What would your answer be then? What would you like between now and the top of the hour? See, if I ask you that question, some people will say, I just want to have lunch in peace. Others may say, I just want to have the ability to have a phone call with my family. I just want to be able to prospect. I just want to be able to make an additional $100. Whatever that may be, by default, To you and I, it creates an immediate manifestation and win. So that is called segmenting events or segmenting manifestations. So by creating smaller segments throughout your whole day, it allows you to focus on one thing. My wife and I were talking literally earlier on the table, and we're just discussing about things that we want to achieve in the next 4 months, right? Things that we want to do for ourselves, desirables, as I like to call them. And the more she's talking, the more I'm like, well, just what is the first goal? She's like, yeah, but I just want to plan. I'm like, babe, I get it. But what is the first goal right now? What do we want right now, this hour, right now? And then she gave me the one goal for this 1 hour. I'm like, that's the only thing we need to focus on. Because the fact that our mindset, our thinking process is so focused on this one thing, everything else right now in this hour is irrelevant. And by doing so, you're focusing so much on that thought process that you start seeking more opportunities, more actions, more driving forces that are leading you to achieve that one goal right here and right now, nothing else, right? So by doing so, imagine your whole day, you're just focusing on one thing at a time. It could be like, I just want to get home safe from the dentist appointment to my house, right? All that allows you to focus, because here's the thing. Many talk about the law of attraction. I just finally, after almost a decade, I finally understand it. It is not a kumbaya, feel good, talk about it, and then it shall happen. No, it's an active process that takes place each and every single moment, whether you like it or not. And by creating a thought process, you are immediately initiating a motion, right? A behavior, emotion, energy in motion. So you're creating an emotion within you, right? Like, man, I'm going to make the next rank in my network marketing company. Immediately the emotion is initiated. That emotion is what motivates your body to act, to speak, to run, to jump, to do whatever it is that you do. So by that emotion, you're now not just attracting things to you, you're moving towards that thing of which you are attracted to. So it's just human biology. That's really all there is to it. But unfortunately, we were misled a long time ago, and just it became this marketing thing that everybody is talking about. And again, tomorrow night, I'm going to go in depth in this message. But right now, I want you to do yourself a favor. Instead of having all these big, huge vision goals, like that's fine. I have a vision board myself. But guess what? I picked the one thing that I put all of my focus, all of my attention to, whether it is within the hour or within the week or within a month, that's to be determined. But I focus on one thing at a time. My focus from the top of the hour until the next 12 minutes is to deliver the most simple yet focused yet exciting yet informative information that I can give you right now, so you can feel like you've gotten some value. That is my only focus. By doing so, I am not seeing anything else. Imagine yourself in a highway, and there's a little bit of traffic, there's a little bit of rain, and then you start seeing police cars flashing in the top right corner. What starts to happen? You start to gain worry. Is it an accident? Is it just backed up traffic? Am I going to be late? All these negative thoughts that starts to happen. But if you were to just focus on the GPS and the ETA and the road in front of you, I cannot tell you how many times. Most of that traffic that is backed up, God forbid there's an accident and whatnot, it's not per se because of the accident. It is because of everybody's worries and concerns of what happened to that individual in that car and in the road and all these different things that they start to worry about. Therefore, the focus has been derailed from the mission, which is get into my destination effectively, efficiently, and safe, to now I'm looking at everything else besides what I'm focused on. And you wonder why the person ends up slowing down. And then you start arguing and, screaming, and people are giving the finger to each other because they're mad that they're cutting each other off. We are totally derailed from the focus. Therefore, we are manifesting negative emotion. So by having that in our bloodstreams already, you get one phone call and you're like, hello. And it's a spouse. I'm telling you about personal experiences that I used to go through. And the spouse would say, is everything all right? Yeah, why? You sound like you're yelling. I'm not yelling. You're the one who sound like you're yelling. Look, it escalated. Now you took that negative emotion and negative energy and you're putting it elsewhere. So you are so blurry in your vision to how good of a day you could be having that you no longer focus on the right positive activities that could bring you closer to that activity itself. So the moral of this training, or the story, really is It is not about having a positive thought and dreaming and just manifesting it or meditating. By the way, the reason meditation is so powerful is because it allows you to focus on your thinking process. That's really the power of meditation. So again, I'll repeat it. If you would like to have the law of attraction, because a law is irrefutable, it is gonna work with or without you. It's like, traffic light. You have no control over it. And if you don't stop on that red light, there could be consequences that you could hurt yourself and everybody around you. That's what it is, law, right? It could be ticket, whatever, but it is law. It's gonna happen with your consent or without it. So whatever it is that you are focused on, it's not that there's some genie in the bottle that is going to say, your wish is my command, and then therefore give it to you. No, it's more than that. It's the fact that you are putting your body, your mind, your spirit, your activity, your emotion, your movement towards the wrong focused behavior, or you're giving attention to the wrong thing. That's really all there is to it. So focus on the one thought for the hour. What is it that you really, really want right now? Not in the next 90 days. What is it that you really want right this hour? See, take a piece of paper and pen and write, this is what I want. This is why I want it. And how strongly do I believe that I'm going to get it? See, by writing these elements down, not only you're putting an element, but there's something powerful about writing things down. That's why banks have us sign our names and write our documentation on a contract, right? You make an agreement with you, because within you, there are two beings. There's a physical body, right, being, and then there's a non-physical existence, whether you want to call it spirit, whether you want to call it energy, whatever you feel that your belief system convinces you that you should be calling it. But there is that conscious body that is within, that is leading us to look for that motive, that purpose, if you will, right? We want more. And the reason why your body is so always like, I want it now, I want it now, I want it now, because the subconscious being that is within your inner body, your inner spirit, your soul, whatever you want to call it, knows that this physical body is leased, and we got it on a specific date, and we shall return it on a unknown date. And that within you, you're like, dude, hurry up. We got to do the right thing. We got to make all the great things. We cannot waste this life. We've been given a purpose. That's why you want it all right now. But the only way that you can get it all done is by achieving the one thing at a time. One thing at a time. How do you achieve one thing at a time? Focus. The task of the hour is. And then when you're done with that, you're going to feel so accomplished, so happy, so fulfilled. Therefore, everything about you just got elevated. Then the next hour. Okay, what do we do in the next hour? It's literally as if you have this amazing kitchen with every single ingredient that you could imagine. And every hour you can make a meal that you desire. Abundant. There's no limitations. Everything you want, you can create. But what do you need to do? Focus on the recipe of the hour right now. And then you start looking for the specific ingredient wherever it may be in this kitchen. You may have to walk and open different cabinets and look for this specific ingredient. But once you know what is the recipe of the hour, that is the only thing you're looking, no matter what's going on in the kitchen, you're looking for the specific 7 to 8 items for that specific recipe. And that is, folks, how the law of attraction or segmenting manifestation actually operates. I love creating segments throughout my whole day. I adore doing that because it gives me the exciting moment that I want. Once I'm done with this segment that I'm doing with you right now, right? Segment, I feel fulfilled. I'm going to go upstairs, take a little break with my wife, have a little coffee and whatnot. And then again, I'm going to ask myself, okay, what are we doing next? What do we want this hour? If you keep answering that question and act on it, because by the way, attraction has the word action in it. You cannot attract what you are not acting towards. So you have to take action. I don't care how positive you are. If you're not taking action, you could be so positive that, you're put in front of the right door, but you gotta use your hand and open the door and walk into the door and say, hello, anybody there? And then therefore you can enjoy what's inside that door. But some of us, we are put in front of 1,000 doors that could be great for us, but we don't take action because our own paradigm is so programmed in, what if this door is the wrong one? What if there's a monster behind it? What if a fire comes out? What if a monster comes and bites me in the face? There's nothing more dangerous than the what if mindset. To be quite honest with you, there's nothing more dangerous, because the moment you put a little itty bitty bit of a tiny thought, the wrong thought, it expands in your mind. Just like when you put the right thought, it expands in your mind. It is whatever that you are focused on that it will expand. And this is not just you and your mindset. This is how life is. Take a seed and plant it and put water on it and come back, it becomes a plant. Come back 5 years later, it becomes a tree. Come back 25 years later, you will find a forest. You have to understand that whatever we put on this earth expands physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, relationships-wise. Everything expands, everything grows. But what do? We focus on what could go wrong instead of actually putting our attention, emotion, activity on what I know for a fact is right. I know that we will make it to the greater of things in life. Now, the difference between those who make it now and those who don't make it until later on in life is just simply being aligned with the law of the universe, being aligned with your co-creator, being aligned with God. Whatever your term that you would want to choose, just putting yourself in alignment. I'll give it to you in this very final example. Let's just say you have a child. If you have a child, a son or a daughter, young one specifically, or if you had kids at one point, please let me know in the comment, and I'll explain it, because this is gonna simplify it for you in the most understandable way possible. And that child, like my little boy Sebastian, he's about to be 5 years old in about 2.5 months. And here's what Sebastian Papa, can we go to Target and get that one toy? Papa, can we get to Target? I'm like, no, Sebastian, I told you, you got to eat your food first. And we made an agreement that we're going to save for it. Remember, we give, and then we save, and then we spend, right? So you have not achieved your goal. Yes, I speak to my son as if he is a grown-up. Now, because my son keeps on saying it, but I want it, I don't just take him, because I feel like, hey, you're behaving bad. You're bothering your mom, and you're not listening to me. So I don't think the timing is right, because you're not going to appreciate it. And then I keep leveraging that toy so he can learn fundamentals that I believe will make him a better human being, right? Patience, tolerance, understanding that he's got to earn things. Those are very fundamentals that I believe they're the right healthy ones for him until he's ready to learn his own ways of doing things in life. Now, the moment my baby boy, and this happened many times over and over and over. And if many of you remember, there was a video about 3 months ago or 2 months ago about a video game that he wanted so bad. And I told him, when you're ready to give it away as a gift to somebody else, then you'll be ready to receive it. And then he decided, hey, I think we should go and buy that video game. It's a $400 video game. We'll go buy it, and I know we should give it away. And he was so excited, so fulfilled. He was so happy. We went all the way to Walmart or Target, or whatever it was, and I kept asking him, and I have a video. Hey, are you sure you're going to give this thing away, or are you going to cry inside? No, I'm going to give it away. And I brought him all the way home. And I put the thing down, and we put it in the bag, and he wrote the name of an imaginary kid that I gave him the name. And in video, he's like, come on, let's go. I want to give this away already. And I was like, sit down. And then I explained to him, hey, this was actually for you all along. I just wanted you to learn that you have to be able to give before you receive. See what happened in that very specific moment. My son and I got in alignment of our core values, of our belief system. And when the alignment happened, we both had the same end goal. He wanted the toy. I wanted to give him the toy. He wanted the video game. I wanted to give him the video game. But because his approach and my belief system were not in alignment, therefore, I could not sponsor his behavior. I could not approve of his behavior. That's why I said, no, the timing isn't right. It's not that I don't want to give it to you. The timing isn't right. But once he made the timing right, once the alignment happened, he got what he exactly wanted. Now, how is that relevant for me and you right now? See, many times every single day, our behavior is not aligned with our creator. Our behavior is not aligned with the universe, with the greater things in life. We are impatient. We want it now. We don't have the humility to wait for it. We have the ego that we think we are entitled to it. Like all those things that we in the universe should just have as fundamental core values. And then the universe says, yeah, not yet. You haven't learned your lesson yet. You're not ready for it. If I give you this car while you don't know how to drive that car, you're going to crash it in 2 months from now, and you can get hurt or hurt somebody else, or you just emotionally could get totally destroyed. I don't want to do that to you, so I'm not going to give you that car yet. Oh, you're not ready for that house because you may have the money yet. This was literally my wife and I for a couple of years. You want the dream $1 million home and you think you have the money for it, but I don't think you're ready yet. I don't think you understand how to manage your budget and your money yet. That was my story. And then opportunities would crash and burn and our income would stop. And I'm like, oh my God, thank God I did not get that house. Because God forbid I did, I would be right now struggling really, really, really bad. So you got to make sure you understand there needs to be an alignment between you and the co-creator. By the way, that's what's called a coincidence. Co-creator, coincidence, an event that has happened in the past will happen now or it happen in the future. So when both of you are in alignment, that's when, oh my God, such a coincidence. What are the odds of that? Well, that was already a premeditated event. You just weren't ready and aligned to make it come into fruition. So anyways, I hope that this message has been received with the love that I intended it for each and every one of you. I cannot wait for tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you need the link, hit me up on a DM or comment in any of the platforms that you're watching this from. And I will definitely give you access, complimentary, by the way. But it is the only public event that I'm doing this whole entire year. Everything I do is usually private. But I would love to give each and every one of you access. You just got to let me know. I believe we initially wanted to just do up to 50 individuals. And the reason that was because I want the interactive 30 minutes on the back end to have the ability to communicate and work with every single person. But I think we are up to like 70 people. And we'll do our very, very, very best to maintain, the conversation with everyone in a short way possible. But make sure you register, even if you don't think you can make it, because those who register will have the ability to get the recording as long as they are registered. So that's that. So I appreciate and thank each and every one of you. Make sure that you are focused on one thing every hour. What do I want right now? And watch how your day gets even more amazing than it already is. I appreciate and love each and every one of you. And until next time, have a blessed day, everybody.